Hello, hello, welcome once again back to Satisfactory. It has been a long time since the last stream, a couple weeks at least, and I am glad to be back at it. I don't know if it's a wise idea to try and stream when it's as hot as it is in my house and outside the house while having a 1000-watt space heater next to my feet, but on we go. Let's see what the Garys have. I don't remember if we talked to them before the end of the last stream or not. Got a weapon not in my hand. Okay, so Gary 1's got nothing, Gary 2's got nothing, Gary 3's got nothing, and Gary 4 also has nothing. Well, that's fine. So, I would like to see if we can get the Space Elevator Phase 2 complete today. We have another 800-ish smart plating to get done. And we do have a factory that is, well, I don't know that I'd call this a factory, but we have equipment that is supposedly making this stuff. We just have to have enough stuff to feed it. I don't know why I've got hiccups now. It's very annoying. I've got those. I do not have rotors. Rotors are annoying. We'll need to acquire or produce more rotors. Remember that for Space Elevator parts and milestones, I've committed not to handcrafting them. So we do need to make them with a machine. Okay, this is making 2.4 rotors per minute, and this one, I think, is making reinforced iron plates that we don't necessarily need right now, but we'll be very glad we had later. 17 there. There's nothing in there. In a better world, I would have... Why is there a constructor here? Ah, okay, that can go away. In a better world, I would have this separated with the smart sorter and sending the rotors over here. But for now, manually transferring is going to have to be what we do. It is so stinking hot in here. But what can I do? Not really much of anything. This is where that goes in. We did have a decent buffer 2 per minute. And how many? Come on. Okay, I've got 2 rotors in here, so we are going to run out of rotors at some point, and then production on this is going to stall. I'm going to need to probably... as much as I hate doing this, I'm going to probably have to start redoing all of these things. Good to see everybody. Sorry that I have not streamed in a while. I've been very busy. I did in end of April, early May, I had a very nice vacation for about 2.5 weeks. And then I got back, had to do a bunch of stuff, didn't have a lot of time to stream, and then went to go see family a couple of weeks ago and also did not have time to stream as a result of that. But as far as I know, don't have any more of that stuff happening for a while, so I'm going to try to get back to streaming Satisfactory, hopefully at least once a week. Can't really promise, because you know you can't really promise anything these days. But I am excited to hopefully finally get done with Phase 2 and move on. What have I missed? Really quiet on your end. I did... Hold on, let me get where I can move my mouse. Normally when I stream, I am leaned back in my chair and I have my mic pulled way up to my mouth, but it is too hot to be leaned back up in the chair because this is not a chair that breathes. So I'm in kind of a different orientation. I modified some of the audio settings as well. A couple people in Timberborn videos were saying that the balance is weird, so I changed things. Let me scroll back up and make sure that I've not missed anything super important. Not to invite discussion of the Beaver game during my sacred Escape from the Beaver game live streams, but yes, I do like the idea of doing an early Timberborn build video series. I think that would be a lot of fun. Not gonna lie, water beavers in the other series are really not relaxing right now. Especially, you know, people don't understand kind of how I do things. They just assume that I'm an idiot just because I don't cut out my mistakes like everybody else does. It's fine. Life comes first, yes. However, comma, this pays for life. So I kind of have to do this. Let's see. I think that's most of what I've been doing. What did I see, Kurt, about exams? You taking exams, or are you giving them? Because I know you do some of that stuff. Oh God. How did I know that was going to come up? First of all, your commitment to inventing fan fiction about me is both inspiring and slightly terrifying. Second of all, thank you very much for the support. I always appreciate it. And no, I did not leave anything in Japan. Nor did I cause anything like that. You're nuts, dude. Taking... Oh, 2 more to finish university. Well, congratulations. Hope you do well on those. Been out of Satisfactory for a couple weeks. Plumbing a nuclear waste treatment plant is a lot and made me stop for a bit. Is that what you do for work? Because that's awesome. Or are you talking about that's what you're doing in game, which I guess is also fun. But, why did I assume that's what you did for work? See, this is how disconnected I am from quote-unquote the real world. But I digress. We need, capital N-E-E-D, need to get more rotors being produced. And I think part of the issue is that we don't have enough of these foundries, or not foundries, enough of these things to keep up with what's being fed in, because this did get upgraded. Or not upgraded, it's not a pure node. It's 120, and then this is just backfilling super hard. So I've only got, yeah. So here's what we're going to do. I know this is not the cleanest, best, whatever way to do this, but I do think we have to just keep making what we're making here. What is this? Making screws. I think it was the volume of screws that was actually holding me back on most of this, so making just another thing of screws is probably going to be a smart choice. Can I get this actually to line up right? I guess I'll just lock the hologram and move around. Okay, that's going to go there. This should be set to still the same... yes, okay, 120 per minute out of 30 in. Should still be able to hold up fine. We'll just get these connected here. I need to... Oh, see, this is already an absolute disaster of nonsense. So here's what's going to happen is this. And I know this is super ugly. It's going to be okay. Don't worry. We'll get this sorted out. I need to replace that with... Well, I guess I could do a Mark II, but I don't really need to do a Mark II. I just need to rotate this so I can have some sort of level of control over what goes where. And that does have enough buffer, hopefully, to take care of that. I'm going to leave that there. I'll do Mark I out. That should be enough. Mark II in. And that is going to be... There we go. And that gets connected to... Where's my power poles? I guess I don't have one. I've got to have... Aha! There we go. Come on. No, 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 no. Don't do that. Don't do that. That has to be connected. This is an absolute rat's nest. I am aware. Yes. It's going to be fine. Where is that? Actually, is hilarious that that could possibly connect there. We'll get that sorted. Anyway, very long story short. Screws. Pain in the butt. And if it's going to be 120, then I need to have Mark II. That's not going to fit unless I do... Nope. Okay. Well, this is also why the conveyor lifts exist, and probably what I'm going to do with this. I just have to be able to get on top of this. I know game sound is probably very, very loud. It's louder for me than it is for you. Let's try this as a Mark II. Take it out of... Okay. It's ugly, but it's technically not clipping. So that's fine. 120 going into that. This is making 120. So now I have 240 screws per minute coming into this. And this is now... These, don't forget, this is two of these lift things merged. I got 240 accessible. I can actually increase the speed of this to take... Well, because I added 120, so I know I can at least do that. This is taking only 60 per minute. That's fine. This is taking 100. And probably could take more. 240, so I want this to be 140. And that's going to be some... Is that just going to be 140%? Okay. That's actually really convenient. All right. So I guess we have to let this sit for a little bit. Wait, Hop is green? Okay, hold on. I gotta scroll back up in chat. I missed a whole bunch of stuff. Oh, okay, so news for chat. Hoff has apparently gotten tired of waiting for random chance and has elected to subscribe on his own. I very much appreciate this support. Sorry the RNG really doesn't like you, but I'm glad you're here. Hope you're having a good day. Let's see. Made it to a stream? Yes, welcome. Might have actually reduced how much money I make. I don't care. I'm doing this because it's fun, and the fact that it helps me pay most of my bills is just a happy accident bonus that's at some point is going to end, and I'm not going to feel bad about it. So, now that Hoff is green, we can all feel a little bit better about the RNG not being bad, because now we don't have to worry about it. And as long as this is not sucking up all my screws, I'm pretty sure... Yeah, the buffer is slowly increasing over time. I think. Okay, let's help this out. Let's stuff this, because it's already full of rods. It's on 140%. I don't think I need to build a second assembler for this. I think I just need to have this actually functional, but I know this is going to be empty now. Let's come back over here and refill this. Okay, so this is like the third person that said volume's too low. I don't know what I'm supposed to do, man. I try to change volume settings for streams versus everything else, and then sometimes it's too loud, sometimes it's too quiet, and then I hadn't changed my settings for recording in literal years on my videos. And then suddenly, the most recent series, I got a bunch of people saying that the sound is weird, or it's too quiet or whatever, and now I'm just like, it's like constantly being gaslit by yourself. It's not fun. What's too quiet? Is it my voice or is it the game audio? One of those is a lot easier to fix. I can try to move the mic closer to my mouth, but I don't feel like it's that much further away. Both. Okay. Yes, there's a bug in Windows. It's called Windows, but the alternative is not any better. It just steals less of your data and sends it to different, slightly less evil people. For now, they already have everything on me they're ever going to want, so I'm not bothered enough by it to go switch to something else. Might be the browser. No, browsers are all the same now anyway. Alright. Hello, Gary's making the creepy no-step turn. Ooh, 18 cooling systems. Thank you, Gary. Spitter remains. Thank you, Gary. What about Gary? No, Gary 4's got nothing. Alright, where's Gary 3? Motors. Thank you very much, Gary. The cooling systems are great because we're not going to need those for a long time, and I can stick those right into the whatever this thing's called. Easy problem to solve. And we'll come over here, grab our protein stuff, make a capsule, and toss that in as well. And in you go. Don't need that. Don't care. Alright. Have we made any more? Yeah, we made 12 of these. I guess we're just going to be running back and forth with this for a while. Because I am going to forget. Yeah, SteamOS was really interesting until the Steam machine suddenly had to be like $1,500. Like, no one's buying that. Who in their right mind is going to spend $1,500 on a Steam machine? Unless they don't already own a computer. No, you can never hate AI enough. Gary 4, do you have your offering yet? No, you do not. Okay. Well, time to move on. We got a whole lot of red. I can't do anything else with these phases until we get this this complete. I can do no more research. So maybe what we should start doing is getting a truck station in place for this tractor to actually service the Quickwire factory. Oh, no. No, okay, hold on. Now, I don't know a ton about computers. I know enough to be dangerous, but I don't know a ton about it. I do know single-channel memory with one 16-gigabyte stick is not the right way to do that. Not the right way to do that. That is, I think I know why they did that, because, you know, getting components is impossible because, again, you don't hate AI enough. But, man, really? One single channel? Jeez. That's a travesty right there. Let's take a drive up to the Quickwire factory. One, because it's nighttime and I really like these lights. Two, because we can. It isn't their fault, it's supply. Yes, however, comma. They took so long making this stupid thing that if they would have released it when, you know, they were originally talking about doing it, it would have been before all the, you know, the AI companies that don't have any money or using money they don't yet have to purchase product that has yet to be made using resources that have yet to be mined by companies that have yet to be set up. I don't think there's anybody innocent in this that's been party to all of that, but that's beside the point. Okay, this is where it's going. We've got Quickwire coming out. It's actually, you know, for only having this much online, seems to be doing pretty well. For now, I think it's going to make more sense for us to build an awesome sink over here and just pipe this directly into it, because we can't currently use it. So that is what I'm going to put over here. If I can find out... That's close enough, who cares? I'm going to put this in as a Mark III belt, so 200 and... what is it? 270 per minute is going to be going into this. Once that gets wired up. What's going to be the most convenient way to do this? Because I know I can... wait a minute. Do these... I haven't researched the daisy chain yet. How is that? Okay, I don't want to mess with that. I do not want to tempt fate. Where is my... Oh, that's hideous, first of all. That's already full. This is already full. Is this already full? No, it is not. Alright, so I guess that's now a thing. Yeah, the Steam Deck and the Steam Machine are different products. But apparently Timberborn is decent on a Steam Deck. Praying for the AI bubble to pop because I need some DDR5 32 gig. Yeah. Again, I don't know probably as much as I should to make commentary on most of this stuff, but it can't come soon enough. I was going to get a bunch of storage. I was going to maybe make a NAS so I can have like home media setup or whatever. Can't do that now. It's too expensive. But I do have a, I think it's a 16 gigabyte, whatever, one of those external drives I just back up all my stuff to. Fortunately, I don't have very complicated storage needs. What was I doing? Oh, yeah, I was gonna, at some point, that's why I left this here, I was going to make a different shaped module so I could have a truck station. And that's what was going to go here. But my primary goal for coming up here was to see if I could put any more of this into service. And then also, what in the world is making that sound? It sounds like something huffing or whatever. But I digress. I wanted to put this into the, whatever this is called, Awesome Sync, so I could get tickets from it, because I'm obviously not using all this quick wire. Also, at some point, I need to get these pylons connected, and then I wanted to figure out exactly how much further I have to go to get to the steel area. Then I need to make a curve segment, which I don't want to take the time to do right now, but we'll do it at some point. Greetings, hello. Yeah, so we have so little of that Quickwire factory actually online that when we get everything set up, it's going to be absolutely beast mode. But for now, yeah, I've probably got like another at least 8 segments of this. To go to blueprints, I'm probably going to want to have... I really should rename these. Probably at least 1 or 2 more that are utility access, but I can always upgrade that later. So if I want to put in 8 more of these... Yeah, concrete's the big limiting factor, but I probably have that much. I know I can get most of this from the Dimensional Depot, not that I really want to be doing that. Yeah, okay, let's just go back. I've got how much? Oh, okay, I've been using way too much of this storage space on this. Yeah, I've got a lot of coal because I was using that as fuel for the truck. The trucks will also have to be fueled at some point. Come on, let me drive the thing. Tractor, not truck, etc. We have the discussion last stream about the driver being on the right side means I should be driving on this side of the line, but it really doesn't matter because nothing matters. See you, Anton. Thanks for being here. You got 4 sticks of 64 gigabyte, 6,000 mega transfers for $329. Who did you rob to do that? Because that is a crazy good price. I paid for what I have in this computer in, I think it was January 2025. I've got, I think it's 2 32 gig sticks, and I think I paid $199 for it. Now, I thought at some point I'd upgrade it to 128, but I don't think that's happening anymore. We're going to go check out the concrete situation, but I think enough time may have passed for us to see what the Garys have in store. 9 computers. Thank you, Gary 2. Gary 1 has nothing. Gary 4 now has some cables. And Gary 3, nothing. That's fine. Computers are good to get. And I need to have 2,000 concrete, so I'm going to need to make... maybe I don't need to make space. I think this will probably be okay. I have the ingots in case I need to make copper sheets. So let's just go around here. No one's upgrading anymore? Yeah, they can't afford it. It's a good thing we had this set up, because now I've got... Look at all this. I've got so much concrete. It's wonderful. I've got 2,000 right here. I've got 2,500, and I only need 1,900 to do that. Cables, I need substantially more, but we also recently redid this, and now I've got cables. So, if I, grab another stack of that. Iron rods are the next big thing that I've got to get figured out. Wire, probably. Why do I... Oh, I don't need extra stacks. I was reading this wrong. Somehow it was taking... Anyway. This should be fine, I think. Yeah, I had those backwards. I only need 1 stack of wire, and one of those comes from the other thing. Right. Let's go back and grab the... What's it called? Rotors, because we're going to have to get those popped in. Should have a decent amount now. If 23 qualifies as a decent amount, I guess that's not great, but at least it's keeping up. Yeah, the same RAM kit, the exact same SKU that I bought, I guess a year and a half ago now, Micro Center is selling for $1,000. Micro Center, doesn't always have the cheapest prices, but historically they've been very reasonable. Except for this. Like, component parts are just absolutely, like, insano pricing now. Alright, let's get this popped in here. We are, unfortunately, like I said, going to have to babysit this. Oh, I forgot the iron rods. That's annoying. Alright, let's go back and do that. They should have a couple of stacks at the very least chilling in here. I don't know if it's this one. It is not. Is it the next one? Oh, come on. Seriously? Yes. Alright, let's take that. Good. So now I can make 8 more of these. I've got cable. I have extra cable to run power. And we can always remove segments of a blueprint and replace them with another blueprint. Oh, look, there's that guy stuck here again. From time to time, I have discussions with some of my college friends about, like, video games and computer stuff. And Now, a bunch of them are saying they are going to have to abandon trying to do like PC gaming just period because it costs way too much money to build anything now. And now the consoles are also going to be stupid expensive. Yeah, prices is just what someone's willing to pay. Yes, that is how that works. Unfortunately, there are so many, entities that will be willing to pay so much more money for stuff because they think that they can get venture capitalist money for doing this AI-generated garbage, that they will do literally anything, including but not limited to actual warfare to acquire their components. So, not a great time to be someone interested in PC hardware and wanting to do literally anything. But what can you do? Can I reach this without jumping down? I don't think I can. But as long as I can cut this down from up here, we should be okay. Alright, so let's... I know I said I wanted to build these utility access ones, but for right now I just want this to exist because I don't really have the materials to build the utility access corridors that much. So I need to be in Blueprint Auto Connect. Okay, so we got 1. We got 2. Got 3. 4. 5. 6. Oh, that's poison. 7. And then I budgeted for 8. Which, in a way, is honestly probably almost enough. I could put 2 more in here. And then I could have this go down to the bottom, or I could build this factory up to this level. I know there's coal over here. I think there's some extra coal. What is the... I always forget. Is it V? Yes. If there's another coal node, I can have one just for refueling the tractor that I haven't built out yet. Yes, there is one. Okay, so that's not going to be a problem. Mercer Sphere is saying there's one over there. While we're here, before we go back and connect everything, I do want to try and remove this tree. I don't think it's going to let me. Probably not. But this one, since I can actually hopefully walk through all this poison. I honestly did not think I would be able to bypass the poison at this height, but I'm glad that seems to be mostly the case. Anyone remember when an entire semi-truck full of 4090s or 5090s was stolen? I do not, but I am not surprised that something like that may or may not have happened. Did I acquire any of that stuff? I guess I did. I don't need it, but that is probably the only one I need to get rid of. I'm going to try to get rid of this one. Alright, so we're still in the poison gas zone. Let's, since we're here, take a moment to connect these lights up and work our way back to the car. And I know I don't have enough to make more than like 2 of these, and I also need to do the slopes probably. But depending on what else I want to get to over here, this is still kind of a good height to get most of the way over there. I know we've got other stuff on that side, but probably don't want to mess with this. Oh, another spam phone call. Thank you very much. Probably don't want to mess with too much of that before we have a more concrete plan of where we're going to be building other factories. Just got to get out of the poison zone. That's not... oh, okay, now I'm going to actually die. Alright, this has quickly become irritating. Let's get some berries in here. And then I have to go back and connect those because, of course I do. Does the gas kill you when you're in a vehicle? I don't know. I can't say that I'm excited to find out, but I need to get this connected. Alright, come on. I think I've got those all done. That was the one I was worried about. And let's get this one step closer. I know this is tedious, bear with me here. It would be really nice if these auto-connected blueprints also auto-connected the cables and the, what are they called, conveyor belts? I understand why they didn't do that, because those can be very intricate and you don't want it to automatically connect to the wrong thing. But it would still be really convenient. And this should be the last one. So that's going to allow us long term to get all the way over to about here, I think. And then that is pure iron. That would be another good location for a factory. I think just having this go straight the way across and then having a branch line that either goes down here or just continues across and has a platform up there would be good. Everyone got their free copy of Roller Coaster Tycoon 3 Complete Edition on Epic Games? No, and I also probably will not be doing that one because Epic Games 2 because Roller Coaster Tycoon 3. I don't know. I never really cared for the full 3D style. Yeah, I don't think I've ever bought a game on Epic. I've gotten some of the free ones, and then I've never played them again. But I don't think I've ever actually paid real United States dollars for something on there. Alright, now I know we're going to have to go back and put more of those rotors in. It's probably still not fast enough for what we need to be doing, and I probably need to completely rebuild everything, but I kind of don't want to do that, but I'm going to need to. I don't know, honestly, I don't know what else you want me to do about volume, because this is the same as it's been. Voice-wise, and output to stream-wise. I really don't want to have to eat the microphone either, because that, one, it doesn't taste that good. Two, it's also annoying to keep up with. Let's say hi to Gary. Nope, I misjudged that timing. Hello, Gary. Ooh, Sam. Nuclear Nobelisk. All right, that's a fun thing to accidentally blow yourself up with. And some stators. Thank you very much, Gary's. Now, let's see how many I've got. 22. All right, can work with that. There's also something regarding microphone placement. If you get too close to the microphone, then it's going to pick up all the plosives, the loud P sounds. And then it's also going to pick up all these splashing mouth noises that people really, really hate in my videos. Like, most people won't mention it, but the people that do are acting like it's like the worst thing on the face of the earth, and I hate it when people are that irritated with something I've done. Which, that's probably something I shouldn't be that worried about, but I digress. Do I have enough to do anything else with here? Mark III, as soon as I get these high-speed connectors, which I don't have any plastic for, but as soon as I get those, I can probably get the daisy chaining unlocked. I have to research the AI limiters, which I could do and grant me smart splitters. I might want to go ahead and do that. I think that would be worth doing. Let's make some copper sheets, because I have all that, you know, copper here, and I also need to take a drink of my nice, delicious water. All right. And now it is so hot up here. I got a glass of ice water before I started stream, and it has melted all of the ice. We've only been live for 30 minutes. It's melted all of the ice, and it has sweat so much that it is all over the top of my desk. And this is one of those cheap particle board desks. I think I got at Staples 20 years ago. So if you leave water on the surface of this too long, it starts to wick into the material and it gets all bumpy and like, eh. At some point I'll probably need to replace this desk, but I'm not doing that until I absolutely have to. No, AC is available. The problem is it's too stinking hot for it to work right. The AC problem cannot be fixed without like $20,000 or $30,000 worth of more insulation and ventilation added to the attic, and that is not money that I have. And if it's money I had, I wouldn't spend it on that. Alright, so I've got copper sheets. I need to now go and research the AI limiters. 13,780. Good lord.
Research completed. AI limiter recipe unlocked. New Caterium research available.
Alright, so I also have power switches. Not something I really need right now, but I might want at some point. I do, however, want smart splitters. So, let's make some AI limiters. I don't remember what goes into those, but they will... Oh. Convenient. I need 10 of these, huh? Well, to do the research, I think I need more than 10. Speaking of cats that turn off power while streaming, you remember the Xbox 360 Slim model, the black one with the shiny plastic? How it had the capacitive power button? More than one occasion, I remember when I was living in a place, we had a stray cat that, you know, wasn't our cat, but at that point it's basically your cat, it just doesn't live with you. We brought it inside the house once, and, you know, you put the nose of the cat, or the cat decides to put their nose on the thing and then it shuts off. That happened at least once. That was really funny. But yeah, I don't know why that was the immediate association I made, but I do remember that. Okay, smart splitter research. That is going to be a great thing for us to have.
Smart splitter unlocked. The smart splitter offers advanced settings that can improve conveyor belt logistics.
Oh, I forgot. That needs to go where? AI limiter, where'd you go? Where are you? Where are you, AI limiter? Why can I not, oh. I was literally, oh, jeez, I need a... Oh, boy. I can't say I need a vacation. I literally just had one, but it's getting bad, folks. The level of brain fog that I have is severe. I don't even do, you know, well, if I say that, then I'm going to get demonetized, but I do not take recreational substances, and I never have. I just have good old-fashioned brain no work without the aid of anything else. Did you use the plastic in the Gary gift box for the research you wanted? Plastic in the Gary gift box? I didn't think I had plastic in here. But if I do and I forgot, then... Oh, yeah, here we go. I had 67... There's a stupid number again. I had 67 plastic just hanging there. Well, well, well. We can, in fact, research high-speed connectors if we so desire. Having the Mark III power poles and then having the daisy chaining is absolutely going to be worth having the plastic taken care of. I like that. Let's go grab some quick wire. I do wish this was a little bit faster. But I don't want to take the time and the resources to research the Explorer quite yet. Especially since they nerfed it and it's not nearly as good. But we will at some point. God, this Timberpunk series is going to take 10 years off my life. But I'm glad last episode did not end in complete disaster. I was very, very worried about that happening. I think long-term we're probably going to be okay. The biggest hurdle was going to be getting the first irrigation thing set up that wasn't dependent on that starting point. Apocalypse series also was extremely stressful to record. And I know at some point I'm probably going to have to do another one of those. I kind of don't want to. We will see. It's one of those things that I kind of, I've noted in some comment replies, but the more popular the game has become, and the more, especially like bigger YouTubers that start playing this stuff, the less it feels like what I have to offer is really relevant in the grand scheme of things beyond people who already watch the videos.
Unlocked. New Caterium research available.
Okay, thank you. And especially like when people show up who are used to watching, like, I don't know, like Zedek or somebody who actually knows what they're doing. They're like, I can't believe you, or like, this guy's an idiot, he doesn't done X, Y, Z. Is like, dude, the X button is right there. You don't have to watch this. Oh, this needs circuit boards. Oh man, I don't. That was a waste. I don't have circuit boards. Do I have? I do have circuit boards. Yeah, how many of these do I need? I'll get back to what I was saying in just a second, but I really want to get this. I need 50? Really? Can I make another 24? I can make 26! I agree that it's dumb to expect people to play the same way, but you know, like, nothing enables just blind rage over nothing like an open YouTube comment section where I never delete people's stuff. And I'm just like, and it's like 1 out of every 300 comments is somebody who's like even remotely negative about something, but it really bothers me. And it's like, have you ever tried to do this? I don't think these people have. I really don't. But it just, like, why, like, what inspired you, one, to get to episode 3 of a series that you claim is just so bad? Like, why are you doing this? Like, go get a hobby, or like go entertain yourself or whatever. Like, why are you like that? Don't do that. Like, I promise life is so much better when you just stop investing time into things you don't care about. Well, I digress. It's just like really irritating. Like, it's happened so much more on the new Water Beaver series, and especially the Timberpunk one. It's like people are just like, I can't believe how dumb you are. It's like, all right, well, you know, believe it. That's just the way this goes. Like, I've never claimed to be really, really smart or good at the game. I just play it. I don't even really play it that much either. Like, 1,500 hours over 4 years really isn't very much time. The difference is it's every waking second of Timberborn play that I have ever done, with the exception of maybe a very, 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 very small amount, has been recorded or live streamed. Like, I've not done it offline.
Power Pole Mark III unlocked. It has significantly more power connections compared to the previous models.
Okay. Now I can have upgraded power connectors if I make another 50 high-speed connectors. So that's going to be the problem, is I'm not going to have that for a while, but the Mark III power poles are going to be great once I have the ability to create high-speed connectors. I just don't have any more. I do have other computers. I can easily research that. But I don't think I have anything else that I can really do. I'm going to put that plastic back in there. Yeah, I think we're probably right up against the wall with what we're able to actually accomplish without doing any more space elevator research. I'm going to get that out of there. That's fine. I just really need them to make more rotors more faster. Hopefully the screws can actually keep up. I have noticed that they're not quite there. Yeah, so like this is still... It's still not really making sense either, because this was up to like 30 something and then it stopped. But it has to be able to keep up. Oh, okay, because it doesn't take it out. All right, well, I'm going to take this down to... Let's try 130 per minute consumption, see if that's able to catch up a little bit faster. I haven't even read the message that you're referencing, probably. If you made a path for the tractor and just parked it and didn't jump back into it and turned autopilot on, would it take you to the end? No, because I do not have a route set up. Alright, so this hasn't really helped very much, taking it down to 120, 130. I feel like that should be enough, though. Like, it shouldn't be that big of a deal. I guess probably what I'm going to have to do, first of all, is check my inputs here. See if that is a Mark II lift, which it is. Identical buildables already there. And then this is already a Mark II, and it's consuming 60 per minute, but I know I'm making more than that. I'm making 120. Yeah, and then this is also making 120, so I know I'm making 240, so where's the rest of it going? Unless I've missed another machine that it's going into that I haven't been paying attention to. But as far as I can tell, it's just these two, and it shouldn't have a problem feeding me 120 a minute here if it's only taking 60 there, and I'm making 240. Oh, wait, no, I know what the problem is. This I need to have this be a Mark III. Okay, that's a problem. That is actually that's a problem. This goes out. And that comes out this way. This probably, unless I already did this. Yeah, okay. But why is that a problem though? It shouldn't be. I can't really adjust this because it's got something else in there. Why is this one even? Oh, okay, because this is going into the bottom, and that's coming out of. All right. You know what? We don't have to live in pain. We can choose to solve our problems. I just need to radically redesign this whole thing. Because that is such a stupid way to be doing this. This can be a, what do you call it? Very scientific term. Can be a splitter. That can be input there. And if that's only going to be 60, then that's all that has to be. Then this, if it's going to be more than that, it can be a Mark III going in. And then, oh, I hope this is going to allow me to, that's not going to work. It's going to have to get moved to a slightly different location. Okay, conveyor. Now my spacebar is acting up. Don't make me buy another keyboard. I like this one. Okay, H. There we go. Okay, Mark III in. I want Mark III out. That needs to go here and here. Now this Mark I can go there. That solves the problem with the screws. I cannot believe that is the only problem I was having. Okay, this... Ah, that's why. That's why that was set up that way, because this was slightly too close. Now this is going to be quite irritating to redo, but I suppose it's probably the only real way I can do this. Let's get this set up like so. Get that set up under default mode. I just need Mark 1. And then I need that to go in. This is making 15 per minute. Okay. That goes there. Where is my dismantle? Ah, here it is. Just grab this one piece at a time. Alright, so that takes care of that. Move all those in. I will keep one stack. Alright, so that should substantially improve what we're doing here now that this can take 180 per minute. I can get that up to 150. It's consuming 30 iron rods per minute. And the iron rod thing is only producing 15, but this is taking 15 ore per minute, or 15 of these per minute, and this is making 30, so I can do this up to get me my 30. I think. Hopefully I don't blow up the power grid. And that is going to allow me to get actually 6 of these per minute instead of 5.1. I know, it seems like kind of a pointless rabbit to chase, right? How are you finding Timberpunk? It is a pain in the ass. Mostly affectionate. But not entirely. The more annoying thing is, like, people assuming that I'm, like, brain-dead stupid while playing it. That's really irritating. Need a snap-on mod if you want to snap them to the device. Is that the mod where you pay, like, $13 a week until you're dead and then your kids get shot because they didn't pay the rest of your toolbox off? Put a few beverage coasters on your particle board desk. I don't think I have any. I do have. Oh yeah, I've got a. I should do something like that. I've got like really old, like Windows install media, like CDs from like 2000 something, that I could put little felt things on the bottom and use those as coasters. That would be kind of fun. Let's see. What was I doing? Oh yeah, I was going to put these. Where'd they go? Did I already do that? I must have. Yeah, I'm just gonna keep on. We're not gonna get the plates done today. It's gonna take way too long. All we can do is just let it be what it's gotta be. Okay, let's go say hi to the Garys. Splitters and mergers snap. Oh, Satisfactory mods. Satisfactory modding terrifies me because I'm almost certainly going to do it wrong and break something. I tried using the cinematic camera mods a long time ago and that completely fried my brain. I was like, you know, I don't need this. You want to eat Gary. You know, well, first of all, ask for consent. And then second of all, what you two do in private is none of my concern. So, go have fun. If you still have floppies, oh, I've got so many floppies. I think I have unopened blank floppies from, like, the mid-90s somewhere. There we go. Mod loader's so easy now. I hope it's better than it was 4 years ago. That was not fun. As soon as I decide I want to try mods or something, they release some sort of update, and then I get really afraid of breaking things. I have not seen our friend Gary, no. I think where he lives, it is very early in the morning right now. Like before dawn. What was I doing? I forgot what I was doing. Oh, I was going to make more of... No, not there. I was going to make more of these blueprints. Probably need at least 2 of those. Okay, slope S is for the start. C is for continue. So if I have 3 of those and 1 of those, that will get me, I think, down to where I want to go. I might need more like 4 or 5 of these normal ones. Let's go for 5. Now the problem with the window AC units is I don't really have a plug by the window, and I think my whole room is on 1 circuit. It's a 15 amp circuit, and I've got enough on with my computer that's gonna already be too much to handle with a computer or an AC on it. Mini split's the correct unit, yes. However, that has to be installed by someone who knows what they're doing. And if you have a brick house, is very annoying. Also, my room's on the front side of the house, and I am not hanging that on the front. That goes in the back. In a different world where... one, I had the desire to go crawl up in an attic when it's 140 degrees up there. And I had the money to get the good insulation and have everything, you know, fixed and cut a whole house vent fan in the top of everything, then I'd do that. But the amount of marginal utility I get from that for the 2 months a year that it is extremely unbearably hot upstairs, and I also have unavoidable commitments like making videos, is not that annoying. When that money could go toward almost literally anything else that has to get done. Now, I don't know a ton about electricity, but I do know that you never want to run a high current appliance off of an extension cord. Ever. Also, that's against fire code and most of that kind of stuff, well, at least in the US. I don't know, maybe in Japan they let you do whatever you want, but actually, based on what I know about Japan, that would not make sense that they would let you do that. Yeah, the main deal with brick is that it is really hard to fix it if you make a mistake, versus if you have wood siding or vinyl siding, like anyone can figure that out. It's not super hard. But masonry is like a eldritch horror type of trade that I don't even begin to understand. Even though American brick houses, it's basically just a veneer, and the structure of the home is still structural lumber and insulation. No, that's not what I wanted. There it is. The biggest issue is not that the unit can't do it. It's that the unit has no chance. Because it's in the attic, and if the attic's 140 degrees, the temperature delta on return air that is 80 degrees is never going to be very good. Like, at most, it's going to prevent the upstairs from getting more than 5 or 10 degrees warmer during the day if it's on running constantly, versus if it's off, then it gets to be like 90 up here. Right now it's about 82 or 83. Just need to keep the attic slightly less hot, but you can't really do that without active ventilation. And to put that in, you have to cut a hole in the side of the house or in the roofing or whatever, and I am not messing with that. And we just had the roof replaced a couple years ago, so it's going to be a long time before somebody's back up there. All right. Might as well see if any of the other Garys have anything. All right, 12 of those is good. 16 of those. And 18 of those. All right. That's fine. Let's attempt to accumulate enough stuff to go and build some more of the road up there. If you plug a single extension cord that's well made into a single socket, there shouldn't be an issue. Yes, however, comma, it's very rare, especially in houses that are not brand new. It's very rare to have a circuit that only feeds one outlet. And a 15 amp circuit on 120 volt, 110 volt, whatever service in the US can only safely carry, what is that, like, I can't do math. Whatever that number of watts ends up being. And I guess this doesn't have a 1,000 watt power supply anymore because that's the one that exploded. Has a 750 in it now. But anyway, those air conditioners, especially on startup, unless they have a complicated piece of circuitry in there, like a soft start, whatever, which, I don't know, maybe the new ones do, they take a lot of power on startup, and that really messes with connected devices on the same circuit. And it's basically the amount of money that it would take to properly do that, to get everything retrofitted, is just as much as it would cost to have somebody come out and do, you know, complete attic overhaul and put in all the new insulation and all that garbage. It's just, it's a really kind of, I don't know what the correct term would be, because it's like a first world problem among first world problems, because like the entirety of Europe basically doesn't believe air conditioning should exist. And now they have this crazy heat wave, and the way they build their houses makes it so that they're basically going to be boiled alive and they can't do anything about it. Even if they wanted to, in a lot of places, because apparently you can't install AC if your neighbors don't want it, or you're in some sort of council housing. There's all these things that I keep seeing about, like, just unbelievable, unimaginable, like, why would you ever stop this from happening? Whatever. So if that's applicable to you, please do share. But it just blows my mind how they just won't do it. Even when it's been available there forever. Like, mini splits apparently are super easy to install if you have the right setup for it. EU is not Europe. Brother, it's in the name. It's most of continental Europe, just because you're not in it. Safety third, but electrical should be a bit higher. What did I miss? Okay. I was able to safely-ish run my EV off an extension cord split from the dryer port for years before I replaced my panel and installed dedicated 30 amp garage circuit. Okay, EV charging, to what I understand, is a little different, because that is a controlled device that isn't just going to always draw the maximum amount of power at all times, like if you plug something else in. More problems with cold than heat. Yeah, that's what I keep hearing. Like, the buildings were mostly built a long time ago when they were designed to keep heat in, and now the climate's changed so much that it's so much hotter during the summer that you can't really do anything with it. You're distracting me. That's what always happens. That's what these streams are for. So that's what I thought, back when that was like a viable, achievable thing. I was like, yeah, if I found a way to get a cheap EV, that I just plugged that in at home. Because we had, when the house was built, it had electric dryer, had the 240 volt, 230, whatever the number is. But we had that converted to gas, so there is, right next to the garage, a 240 volt line run. And the panel was provisioned for it, and the load, whatever capacity is there, it's just not being used. So I thought, oh, okay, well, what if I just put it, move that outlet over to the garage and then try to plug in a carburetor? Forget it now. Now you don't have the tax incentives for it. It's America, why would they do anything for their own good? Very good question. Gas dryers are the best. Yeah, when they work. Why did YouTube hold this for review? Because that's hilarious. Okay, let me manually approve that. So yeah, I did see... I try not to spend very much time on social media because it's an absolute just toxic cesspool of misery. But I did see in all of that discourse the video... the video of the Chinese people putting the mini split in the pig pens. That was funny. That was funny. Is the message from Kurt directly above yours? I do know that, especially in like historically protected buildings in like parts of the UK, for example, you basically can't do any external modification to the building whatsoever without council approval. And if you're in like a brick flat or something, and you want to, like put the exhaust unit for the mini split on the outside, then you have to go through all this mess, and then your neighbors can say, "Well, I don't want you to do that," and then you can't do that. That seems very annoying. And the worst part about it is there are people that are dying because of this, because they cannot get cool, and there's nowhere for them to go to get cool. They're worried about the AC causing electricity problems. All right, again, I'm not an expert with all of this stuff, but that just really doesn't seem like that holds up to me at all. Because you have all of this renewable energy emphasis, you have especially in France, there's a lot of nuclear. I know Germany, for some reason, decided to get rid of their nuclear power, but you would think there would be ways to, approach this to say, hey, we can come up with extra capacity. You're not going to run AC 24/7 either. And if you have a building that's really well insulated, you don't have to run it that much. Just enough to cool it off during the worst parts. And also, those mini splits are heat pumps too. Like, they'll work in the winter. They'll save you on your heating oil bill. Which I know that's a contentious thing. Well, the old school compressor stuff, yeah, that takes just unbelievable quantities of electricity. But you're not putting those in those old buildings anyway, because those have to be installed with like the central heating and ventilation ducts, and you got to rip the whole building apart. No, mini split is exactly designed for that purpose. Canada is also an enormous country with a comparatively very small population. So I don't know that they're really a valid benchmark to compare against where you have Europe, where there's a lot of density, especially in cities. I don't know. I feel like there's some things that are, maybe kind of important, like keep people from dying in a heat wave. I don't know. And I don't want to turn into like a political commentator or whatever, because, I definitely have my own opinions, but that's not what this channel's about. It's supposed to just be having fun with the video games. It just really bothers me when people don't do basic stuff that makes common sense. It's like, why are you like this? Like, you don't have to do this. You can choose to do things that, aren't stupid. Okay, quick wire we know we have up there. Do I have concrete in here? I have 500. Okay. I have regular wire. I need to do something with this reanimated SAM. I probably... Okay, let's get rid of this. I definitely don't need this. I'm going to take 3 stacks of reanimated SAM, and I'm going to put this in the... What do you call it? So I can clear a space, and then we're going to go actually build something so I don't feel like I'm wasting everybody's time. Ah, yes, the uniquely qualified Dr. Cudson here. Has a PhD in electrical engineering. If you build a renewable-focused grid with solar panels, you actually need to run high-demand things like AC in the middle of the day when it's hottest to avoid throwing away excess electricity. Exactly. Exactly. See, you don't have to be a super turbo genius to figure that one out. I mean, it just makes sense. And there's also, like, battery technology I know is still not really to the point where it makes sense on the scale of a whole electrical grid, but the technology does exist to a certain extent. Yeah, and regarding the way houses are put together, yeah, that's kind of exactly the point. Because if your houses are, robustly insulated 800-year-old castles or whatever, all you have to do is cool it down a little bit and it's going to stay cool. You just have to have some sort of defense against all the crazy heat that you guys are getting. But the answer to all of your questions basically forever about why does the U.S. do things the way that it does things is money. It's much more cost effective to build a dimensional lumber framed home and then clad it with brick or stucco or something than it is to do basically any other type of construction. And we have so much wood basically everywhere. It's essentially almost free. We have so much wood. Of course, they're going to charge you a ton of money to get it because somebody has to cut it down or whatever, but it makes so much more sense with the way that our climate is set up to build stuff like that. And even though, we have tornadoes and hurricanes and stuff, they still perform just about as well given what we have access to and what we can reasonably prevent versus, putting in concrete block everything everywhere. And it costs way less. Put some of the building materials into a manual uploader. I already have a decent bit. I only have like one stack. Lithium is kind of low. Lithium, from what I understand, is not the future of battery power. They're looking into, like, sodium something now? So what was I talking about, like, house construction stuff? I really need to make sure I get enough concrete before I get up there. 2, 3... Okay, I've got enough concrete to do that. I need quick wire. That's up there. Regular wire. I might as well go grab another one of these. Yeah, we also don't need to worry about termites because all you have to do is get an inspection every once in a while and, don't leave dead trees leaned up against your house. You're probably not going to have any problems. Alright, I think I'm okay now to just go over here and do that. Yeah, that's another thing. You really absolutely must have elasticity. Might not be the right word, but that's what comes to mind. In buildings here, or areas that also have earthquakes, or it's going to get completely destroyed just immediately. Like, that's one thing that's, they call it stick-built. They're not sticks. It's dimensional lumber. It's engineered. It's actually very durable. But that's one thing wood is very good about, is deforming under stress without breaking. And if you build something that's just cinder blocks with absolutely no reinforcement, like, you get a even minor earthquake, you're done. It's over. But a stick-built house with reinforcements and properly tied together and everything, you're not going to have the same kind of problems that you would with just like a cinder block structure. Okay, this is... I didn't need that much. Yeah, that's going to be enough. I'm going to change this from a Mark III belt to a Mark II. Because it's getting rid of that a little bit too fast. Hello, Devilish. Some termites can infiltrate concrete. Well, there's one very valuable lesson that we can all take from the movie Jurassic Park, and that is that life finds a way. No matter what, if you try to stop some, like nature or some sort of creature or something from doing something, it's going to figure out a different way to do it on a long enough timeline. Just like on a long enough timeline, everything gets an LS swap, and on a long enough timeline, someone's going to try to install Gentoo Linux on your computer. Same kind of deal. It's like telling people to use compact coal as vehicle fuel. I don't even have that recipe, do I? Compact coal? That also is not how that's spelled. Nope, I do not have compact coal. Lived in a dorm once where it had the foundations that let it move in circles during an earthquake. It felt crazy during the one earthquake we had, but it worked. Yeah, it's really cool, the earthquake prevention stuff, and especially like Japan's figured this out really, really well. When I went to the SC Maglev Museum in Nagoya, they had a whole exhibit on how the Shinkansen trains react to like earthquake early alerts and how the system is set up where it's going to be very, very, very safe for you if you're on the train. Really fascinating stuff. At some point I will make a video about that, but time is an illusion. And I have a very hard time finding time to do basically anything these days. No, I'm out of concrete. That's because it's in the car. Okay. 90s show called Dinosaurs? Who doesn't remember the 90s show called Dinosaurs? I would probably venture to guess that most people in my audience are, if they have not seen it, were at least old enough to have seen it when it was new. Or I guess new, whatever, when it was airing on TV. We should make kids watch that. We should make kids do a lot of things. If you say it too loud to some people, they get mad. Alright, now let's continue putting these blueprints in. I do really want to see if I can make this work. Why did I click off of that? It's like a reflexive maneuver for me to do this, and I don't need to be doing it. Alright, so that's going to get us, yeah, just about to the point where I'd want to turn off. Depending on how I want to build this out, I guess I could take one, maybe not even one more from here. Maybe I just have this turn off here at a, let's see, 1 meter foundation. Yeah, let's do that. Let's make ourselves a little turn off here. 3 meters, 3 meters. 3 segments that way, 4 segments the other. So that is going to hold our spot. And then that, you know what, that's actually probably about the best possible spot we could take to go there. Going down is not going to be, probably not going to be what we want to do. We probably just want to keep going this way. I don't think there's anything else super close to here that would be very useful. But I wonder what I want to do about this. Yeah, because I still haven't made my T-intersection thing that I wanted to. I guess I'm going to have to figure that out. Do the jump pads still work with the vehicles? I don't know. I know that they modified some of that stuff. It might not do it anymore. Not sure. But for right now, I know I have materials if I go and get more concrete. But I want to see if I can get a ramp made. Even if I don't keep it, I want to see if I can get a ramp down to that steel area, because then I can start doing transport between things and I can automate a lot more of this. Then after that, I've got to edit the video for tomorrow with the water beavers. Water beavers is going really well. I've been very happy with it. I think it's mostly past the stressful part. Will the intersection be 4x4? Yes. Because of how things are going to have to get connected, it is going to be 4x4. So then I will have to have this... See, the problem is I don't know that I'm going to have the ability to correctly connect this without it being a really annoying thing. So this has to go in a very specific spot, because it's blueprint auto connect, right? It's not going to play nice with me here, blueprint. Because this has on the bottom a lot of issues. Because it's got these... pylons and stuff. So if I go here, if I lock my hologram, it's really hard to get this in the correct spot because it doesn't want to play nice. I always forget it's not as wide as I think it is. That is essentially the correct spot. I think I can page it down. Yeah. As long as I can get this to line up correctly here. Which it looks like that is Oh, but that doesn't need to be... Yeah, that's the problem. This isn't going to line up with the grid. That's a problem. That's a problem. It's going to have to go straight to the edge. Yeah, because I didn't make this all the way 4 blocks wide because it wouldn't have fit in the blueprint designer, but this has to be... This is already 3 wide. Oh, I've created an unenviable position for myself. Do I want to go further left, or do I want to go further right? Or do I even want to go down here at all? I think the answer is probably further right based on how this comes in on the left, but it's not going to make that much of a difference. Why am I like this? As long as it matches the grid somewhere, I just can't have it split. So that cannot go all the way. Let's try this. How close does that get here? It's actually kind of decent. All right. I guess this is fine. It's just going to be kind of weird how this gets hooked up. Honestly, I'm probably not even going to leave this constructed. I just want this to exist. Yeah, that's not going to get me down far enough. And distance with the S. Yeah, see, now I've just honestly kind of confused myself. Blueprint auto connect, please and thank you. Please auto connect in a way that's not going to be incredibly stupid. Okay, that's too much to ask. I'm not going to fall off the edge. Alright, so that is all of the continued slope things that I had suggested to myself to do. This does get us closer. It doesn't get us down far enough, and it would only be 8 meters height difference to go a little further. Well, see, the thing is, I had built this closer to the ground over there. But the way this is set up doesn't really allow that over here, and I also want this to stay at the same height so I can continue going that way when we get there. I actually don't know that we're deathless. Can I check that? It's under options? I don't think so. I know in the hub there is a counter for how many days it's been since you died, but this is now a long enough playthrough. I don't know that that's going to be an easy way for us to tell. Skip roads and go to drones. This is going to be so long before I get to drones. It's not even worth thinking about. See, I don't really think this was that smart of an idea to do this way. It probably should just continue going up that one side. Yeah, because as this is now, I don't think this is really going to make sense to continue the slope down. Probably just need to build the factory up. The only reason this was down here to begin with was because we had these coal nodes. Yeah, because that's iron up there. And then that comes in, because that's a separate recipe, I think, for the steel instead of having... Yeah, that's an alternate recipe. So in theory, I could just take these coal nodes and rebuild the factory to be at this height, which would be closer to that, and I wouldn't have to worry about this. I don't think you can build a separate second hub. No. You can only build one. Scope creep seems kind of unavoidable, I say as someone who does not work in tech. It seems like a people problem more than anything else. Yeah, you know, I think that's what we're going to want to do. I'm going to remove this. So I kind of don't want to figure this out in real time. Plus, we need to go back and fix the smart plating ingredients. Yeah, so I think what's going to happen is I'm just going to have this turn... Or not turn, because I still want this to go that way. But I'm going to have to... Oh, see, that's going to run into Oh. Never mind, I don't need... Now I'm in blueprint mode. There we go. If we can go on this side of this rock, that would be fantastic. Oh, it's going to be close. We'll see. We'll see. If it only creeps in like a little bit here, I'm not going to worry about it. Now, is this a Japanese company or an overseas company with an office in Japan? Because you already know. If it's a Japanese company, you're not going to get anything. You're not going to get anything done with that. Best way to remove scope creep is just remove the deadline. Yeah, well then, you know, nothing's going to get done if you remove the deadline. I digress. We need to go back. We've made some sort of decent progress, and that's probably about all I can expect. Do I have hypertubes researched? Because if I do, I can put hypertubes down in the tunnels below, and I just need to have an access area. I don't know. I guess we'll have to see in a little bit. Japanese company, good luck. That's all I got for you. How much longer are you going to go for? I don't know, because it's still really hot up here. But I really wanted to get at least something else accomplished here in terms of automating more stuff. I think it's probably reasonable for us to consider this enough progress, quote-unquote. But I do want to try to get at least halfway to the... what's that stuff called? Smart plating. I have like 80 of those left. Oh, I ran out of gas. Or coal. Problem solved. Road trip across the U.S. Enjoy. I always love doing road trips. I think they're a lot of fun. But when it's really hot outside, then stuff goes poorly very fast. Ooh, quartz crystal's good to have. Steel beams, thank you. Nothing from there. Come on. Alright, I didn't need that, but that's fine. Did I get anybody else? Forget anybody else? I think I got everybody. I just need to get Gary Ford to weigh in. There we go. Alright, that was worth something. Let's get this out of here because I do not need that. Alright. Oh, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. 114 rotors stacked up while we're sitting over there. Okay. Now, assuming I'm in the right one. Yes, I am. Yes, 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 yes. Use the rotors, please and thank you. Now, what was I doing over here? I don't remember, which is a problem. I don't want to put that in. I don't want to put that in. I should probably try to sort out most of the rest of this stuff. Nuclear Nobilis can go in there. Quartz crystal can go in there. There's one of those... I thought one of those researches needed more quartz crystal that I didn't have. I already have one of these. I don't need to worry about that. Pocket dimension. Ah, the crystal oscillator. Now that I have 100 of those, that is a great thing to go ahead and research because then that can be used to make a bunch of cool stuff. Material resonance. Oh, priority mergers. Okay. Now, crystal oscillator, probably the most important thing we can research right now that we actually have the ability to do. So, why don't we take that and get that accomplished there. And...
Research completed. Crystal oscillator recipe unlocked. New quartz research available.
So that's going to allow us to research the Explorer, explosive stuff, Radio signal scanning. This is a good one. Because then you can look for crash sites. And we're going to want to get more and more of the hard drives acquired. Probably before we do more research. Since you can unlock alternate recipes based on your current level. So if there's other early mid-game recipes that we want that we don't have, we probably want to do those before we do any more research, because then it's going to start mixing other stuff in. And then, of course, the radar tower is a different thing entirely. But that's worth having unlocked. 455 out of 1,000, so that's still going. I wonder if I should take more... Yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna take this stuff over there, because why not? See you, Kurt. Yeah, we're not gonna be going too much longer. It's just too stinking hot. But I wanted to get to 500 out of 1,000 here, at the very least. So we'll do that. Then I'll pop this in there. I guess I gotta just take a look and see what's backed up. Okay, we're gonna be all right. This is just a very slow process, but now that I've got a decent amount of stuff in here, I'm going to crank it. So let's get these in here. Hopefully it doesn't completely destroy my power grid. But now it's making 5 per minute instead of 2, which hopefully that's going to improve our process here. Research the radio. I don't have the stuff to research the radio. We're still kind of a ways off from that. So why don't we, while we're waiting, clear the list, and then I'm going to, I suppose, get enough stuff to do, let's say, 5 more? And then I'm going to do probably 2 utility access ones. That'll replace 2 of the existing things, because I need to be able to get down to the bottom, because I want to be able to put in conveyors and hypertubes and stuff. I might actually want 3 of those. But I need to make sure that I've got all that. I just need copper sheets, which I know I have, and concrete, which I know I have. So we'll do that. Then that's probably going to be a good place to stop. And maybe it'll cool off enough in here where I can, actually go to sleep without sweating to death. That's... Concrete's good to have. Copper sheets, I just get a whole stack of those. I think it's, what, 200 to a stack? Yeah, that's going to be good. Very good. Very good. What are you missing? Thought I saw everything. We're not really missing anything now that I've got what I need here. At some point I'm going to have another road coming back this direction from the other side, but that is something we'll do at a later time. And this Mr. Bean over here, or whatever you want to call him, is still stuck on the side of the wall. If we can get this set up with a truck station, then we can automate it. I know I said that already. Oh, missing to research radio. I do not remember. Can't really drift as well in this as you can in the Forza game, huh? Too bad. I have heard that the Northeast has a lot of old diners, like the ones that were made out of converted train cars, or were designed to kind of go in that kind of style, like the Streamliner type stuff. If you can find one of those, that might be kind of fun. I don't know. I've only been to New Jersey, I think, once, and I basically didn't leave the turnpike. So I unfortunately don't have any advice for you in that regard. let's get this hooked up. I know these have power run kind of strangely because that was not consistent with what I was already doing. Anyway, this lets us get underneath, and underneath we have access to get to so much more stuff. Oh, there's trees down here. But I was going to put in hypertubes and the conveyors and stuff down here if I needed to. But for now, this seems to be... Why do I have... Okay. It seems to be fine. I was going to have this just continue this way, which probably should be another one of these utility access ones. But because this isn't a blueprint, it's not going to want to play nice, and I have to get this figured out. Because I want this to be probably... Let's lock the hologram here. Is that facing... It is. It is facing the right way. Let's get that going out. Is it going to let me nudge it further? Alright. And because it has the overhang, it's not going to be super easy, but let's... Oh, okay. I think this will work. That is the correct... No, that's 3 wide. Oh, I need this to go 1 more. I think, is it 8 nudges? I know, I'm sorry. This is taking forever. I just want to confirm before... Yes. Okay, let's do that. And then I just have to connect this here so it's drivable. Oh, I wanted this on the other side. You know, not that it's really going to matter. I can just move this. I can just move this to the other side. I can build another one. I actually don't have... Alright, is that arrow facing up? I guess we're going to find out. Large billboard. So let's see if I can get this to hang right. It's got, what, 3 of those? Yeah. I think that's how I had it. Let's find out. Okay, set text here. Can I get close enough without jumping? No? Okay. Oh, no. What I should have done is just copy-pasted this. That is what I will do. Make it nice and easy. Because that one already says what I want it to say on it. Alright, let's just check this. That looks pretty good to me. Alright. We'll call that, you know, good enough. This I already hooked up power-wise. This is not a permanent solution, but it will be a solution. Just hook that up there. I guess I can go underneath to just kind of stupid wire this. Sure. That goes up to... Yeah, that should be fine. Then going further this way, I can take my regular blueprints. Blueprint auto connect. So if I've got 3 of these, that should get me basically directly over. Oh, look at that. Okay. And then what I can do with this is I can, at some other point in time, reconfigure this to be a more advantageous factory design. But I think this is going to be a good enough lead up to that. And then knowing how we have this set up, I'm going to have a little bit of an annoying thing over here. But probably what I should do if I'm going to have consistent design language is have the utility access. Oh, I don't have the stuff for it. Okay. But I do have the stuff to make the stuff for it. So let's do this real quick, and then we'll be probably done. I just need to make 12 of these so I can have another one with the sign on it. Maybe I'll go ahead and make 24 just in case I want to put one on the other end of that straight section. When you get Mark III miners, etc., it's easier to build up bigger feeder factories. Yeah, that's really far away, though. It'd be cool if they made it so you could make vehicle elevators. You know what? Well, I know they have the personnel elevators. Let me get this taken care of so I don't get too out of focus here. But I need to set this in a direction that's actually going to be facing the correct way. Okay, that's not the way I want it to go. I want that to go that way. Okay, and I need hologram. There we go. And I need this to page down to there. Does that line up? Oh, look at that. Look at that. It lines up perfect. Okay, so, yep, that is there. I can always change what these signs mean. That was my intention a long time ago anyway, just haven't done it. That connects there. And then, again, this is going to get redone at some point, but for right now it's not. That connects there, so power is fine. This is going to allow us to get closer to what we have going on over here. I don't know if you can really see it. Yeah, but this... Hopefully I can get on the other side of this rock. This will be a good trunk line here. We could probably have another one come down this way and then come down this way. I think at that point I'll probably have trains anyway, and I don't think the trains are going to be as hard to work with. Blueprint auto connect, please and thank you. How many more of these can I do? I think I can do one more. I think I can do one more. I think I can do one more. Now I legitimately cannot do one more because I don't have anything else. Okay, so this is going to run about here. Going to run into that rock. Oh, there's a summer sloop on there. So we're going to have to make a choice about how we want to get through this, because this, at this height, as we get further over here, is going to run into stuff. We may want to actually turn 90 degrees and go up into that forest instead. That's something we will have to mess with at a later date, because now I am rapidly running out of the ability to tolerate how hot it is in here. Yeah, I just want to get this hooked up, and then we'll drive back. Probably put some more stuff in the factory for the what-do-you-call-ems, and then have to be done. But pretty productive. We got the road expanded. We've got a lot closer to the completion of Phase 2. And I feel like we were set up probably next stream to get the quick-wire stuff finally fully integrated once we have everything connected with the truck stations. And then maybe take a look at redoing our steel area here, because I can't remember if that used Mark II miner stuff at all. And then at some point I just need to design a modular intersection T thing. But for now this seems like it's fine. Let's just turn this thing around. It's going to look really cool when everything's all lit up at night. Especially these real long straight ones. A little bit monotonous going through this, not gonna lie. I think we're gonna be fine. Bigger blueprint unlocks probably late Phase 3, depending on how they decided to number their phases. If Phase 2 is completing Phase 2 or if it's enabling Phase 2. It's a very important distinction that we have not made. Yeah, now this is going to be running us completely dry of quick-wire, so I am going to shut this off. We have 6 coupons. Alright, let that just do what it's got to do. Oh, I ran over myself. Hate it when that happens. Alright, let's go grab the rest of our rotors, and then we'll say hi to the Garys, and then we will get out of here. Check what you're missing for a radio. Remind me in about 45 seconds. If I don't do it. Yeah, they ran out of ran out of rotors real quick. Well, we got over halfway, and that was my goal, was to get halfway after I figured out how slow it was going to be. We do have more capacity to make rotors now, which is good. And we'll do Gary first, because then that gives him more time to load up new stuff before the next next thing. Ooh, electromagnetic control rods. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. You have nothing. Thank you. And last one. There we go. Thank you, Garys. Let's check and see if I put the ooh, turbo motors. If I put the rest of the control rods in there, I did. Okay, so that's what I will do. I will feed these into the awesome sink so we can get some coupons. And then we will check the MAM for the radio bit. 50 computers, which I do technically have, but I'd want to use for other stuff. And then I need another 28 crystal oscillators and 50 heavy modular frames. I might have the heavy modular frames. Crystal oscillators, I do not. And as far as I know, this one just displays information on locations of nodes and stuff, which is, you know, useful, but not something I would prioritize. I would probably much rather have the scannable hard drives, which I know I have to make another object scanner, and motors are not going to be that big of a deal. Crystal oscillator is going to be the most annoying thing for right now. Do I have coupons? I do not. Did I put them in here? I did not. So I might only have the 6 that are in there to begin with. I think that is probably about as much as we can realistically do. Good progress, though. It's always fun to hang out with everybody. Finally got up literally just in time for stream day, and I'm so sorry. But yes. Maybe next time we can actually get Phase 2 completed. But expanding the road is good. Getting more accessibility is good. I think I might want to reduce some of that road network, and of course we have to put in all the other infrastructure stuff. But the important thing is that the road will also convey power, because we've been wiring it. And it'll make it a lot easier to get all the networks connected. When we get monorail done, I've got a couple ideas for that. That might take a little bit less time versus how I've typically done that in the past. Now that we have blueprint stuff, so you don't have to just build rigid straight lines anymore. You can auto-connect monorail tracks between set points, and it'll take the curvilinear path, which is really nice. We'll see. Where are we building the road to again? I know that was like 15 minutes ago. We were building toward the still area, and then eventually I wanted to wrap it around to that coal area, and then probably up to the upper, whatever, northern forest, or whatever that's called. Anyway, I think this is the point where I have to sign off for the night. I appreciate you guys being here. I gotta go edit the video for tomorrow, get that posted, and then hopefully we'll see this weekend maybe if I have time to stream some other stuff and take a break from the beavers, so to speak. But appreciate you. Have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you again soon. Take care. Bye-bye.